Me, Shamit, stay with me. Our editor-in-chief Arnab also now joins us.
Yeah, hi Deepthi. Hi Deepthi. I've been following this footage and there were two sequences this morning. As you know, our reporter and our associate editor, Aditya, was there at the airport this morning. And just before Aditya landed, I think we broke the news about his land deals and how someone who was under him, working for him, was buying land and gifting him land worth about 60 or 70 lakhs. I think that was the story which our senior editor Prakash broke in the morning. And once that story broke, Aditya was in the airport. And in a very civil manner, Aditya asked a sequence of questions. First of all, I want to come out there and say that I'm extremely proud of both my journalists today. They're terrific reporters. I think you kept your cool, Aditya. I think you, despite being physically attacked, did not respond in kind and kept persistently asking those questions, which is the best thing to do in the spirit of journalism that we believe in. I personally was a bit horrified that in both cases there were other reporters who were standing around. He didn't do anything when you were being physically assaulted. But that tells you the state of the media in this country today. Aditya, I first want you to tell our viewers what happened at the airport.
Well, absolutely, Arnab. At around 11:30, we reached the airport. We were told that at around 12:30, Lalu Prasad Yadav will land there. This was the first opportunity because we have been trying to reach him for almost a month now for a comment after massive expose. The first that Republic did of his links with Shahabuddin, the audio conversation when Shahabuddin, the known gangster, was inside the prison. And when I asked those questions, the moment Lalu Prasad Yadav came out, he was nervous, he was jittery. He said, "Aap aaram kariye, aapko हम नहीं जवाब देंगे हमारे पास आपके लिए कोई जवाब नहीं है." I tried to persist with the question that we broke this morning, that my senior colleague Prakash Singh broke from Patna, about the entire network between Hema Yadav, his daughter, and of course two of his henchmen. Clearly there was no answers. He was completely rattled. He said, मैं आपको कोई जवाब नहीं दूंगा, आप यहाँ से जाइए. Then he said,
Aditya, you were talking to him about you were talking
अपने बाप से पूछो.
No, at this point of time, you were talking to him about the land scam involving his daughter, right? And that is the only question that you were asking him. There were no personal questions out there. You were only asking him about the land scam involving his daughter. And he said that it is not his job to answer our questions. Now remember this, viewers. A political leader, ladies and gentlemen, refuses to provide any answerability, which is shocking. And then, Aditya, you went on and on and on, and so rightfully so. And you asked Lalu Prasad Yadav, tell us about the scams that you are associated with, to which he started calling you names. He called you a scamster, he called you a ghotalebaz. Tell us about what happened then. So the whole country should know exactly the manner in which Lalu Prasad Yadav behaves. This is 2017 Lalu Prasad Yadav, not the feudal era into which you use caste combinations to come into politics.
Outside the Delhi airport, I tried asking him about the entire, the accusations against him on corruption, on allegations with Shahabuddin, but he said, हमने कोई घोटाला नहीं किया है, आप हैं घोटालेबाज. When I asked him again on that land grabbing charge against him, he said, अपने बाप से पूछो. That is the kind of the language that former Chief Minister of Bihar, Lalu Prasad Yadav, the supremo of the RJD, with which the Congress party is in alliance, is saying. And then further, yet again, he said, "Aap supari, aapko Modi ne supari diya hai." That is the kind of language he's using, not just against the media, but against Prime Minister of India as well. And further, when I tried to ask him about Shahabuddin again, he screamed at me. He stopped for a second along with the NSG commandos and again threatened. He said, "Aap yahan se chale jaiye." Continuously making such ridiculous charges at the media, shooting the messenger, trying to, make these intimidating tactics against the media.
Right, and then after that session inside Parliament, as he was coming out of the meeting, our news editor Parikshit Luthra went and approached him, and there is a whole sequence when Parikshit is moving towards him in a most polite manner and in as congenial a manner. Lalu Prasad Yadav was asked a few questions by Parikshit. Now, you started by asking which question, Parikshit. I'm going to play the whole sequence. The sequence that you're about to see is that of Parikshit Luthra, who is among the reporters following Lalu Prasad Yadav to ask questions. This is not even a stakeout. This is simply a reporter standing there and asking some questions. When our reporter asked Lalu Prasad about his links with Shahabuddin, he says, "You keep asking the same question." Take it from there, Parikshit. He first tells you, you keep asking the same question. And then what happened? At one point of time, we saw that he was moving towards, you were right there in front of him. Some bouncer comes in and starts pushing you back. When you stand and you are actually at an edge, at an angle to the camera at that point of time. That person comes once again and pushes you back a second time. This time you get pushed back. I want to play that whole sequence. The second time when you get pushed back. But Parikshit, hats off to you. You came in again. Lalu realized that you were not giving up, and you started walking with Lalu at that point. At that point, you start continuously asking 17 to 18 questions to Lalu. Tell us, Parikshit, what is the question which you were asking? At one point, when the entire, I think you're going around the circumference of Parliament before the gate, you ask him something and he really loses his cool. And then he tells you, he shows his fist and then he looks at you like he's about to punch you, Parikshit. And as he's about to punch you, he says, "मैं एक ऐसा मुक्का मारूंगा, तुम नाच के गिर जाओगे." That whole description out there, Parikshit, I want you to tell the people how this petty criminal called Lalu Prasad Yadav was behaving with you. And as you put this out, I want to tell you, Lalu, your time is up. The truth has a way of getting back. You can't hide from the truth. The truth is not going to spare you this time, Lalu Prasad Yadav. You have physically assaulted my reporters. You have threatened to box my reporter. You have called us a ghotalebaz. Everybody knows the scams that you're with. You're a man who's admitted your links with the Mafia Don. There should be case after case against you, Lalu Prasad Yadav. And we are going to not leave you. We're not going to spare you. The truth will not spare you. Under multiple sections of the law, you should be booked, Lalu. And we are actually going to the police station to file a criminal complaint against Lalu Prasad Yadav. Parikshit, can you please explain what happened in that whole about 1 minute 30-second sequence? Describe the whole sequence, Parikshit.
Right. Right. Arnab, we waited for Lalu Prasad Yadav to finish all his sound bites. He spoke to all journalists. We waited for... Right.
Let's show the pictures.
Arnab, we waited for our chance. We waited for our chance. He finished all his sound bites and I quietly went up to him and asked him, Lalu ji, I addressed him most politely and asked him, Lalu ji, Shahabuddin se kya rishte hain? He said, बार-बार आप वही सवाल पूछते हैं. मैंने कहा, आपने Shahabuddin से बात की? And that point, that bouncer who's wearing that grey shirt, he pushes us. And you can see him abusing us as well. We were really shocked at that time because we hadn't even asked anything. We had just started our interview. We only asked, Shahabuddin se kya rishte hain? And this is something he's been repeatedly asked. What was the need to push us? You could have asked us to move away politely. That did not happen. But we avoided getting into any sort of confrontation with that bouncer because we have nothing to do with him whatsoever. We again went to Lalu Prasad Yadav and somewhere I think Lalu Prasad Yadav realized that what happened with that bouncer was absolutely wrong. So we asked another question to Lalu Prasad Yadav about Hriday Nath, about that land scam that Prakash Shah broke this morning, about how there are allegations that peons of Lalu Prasad Yadav, people who work in his cowshed, have gifted him land worth lakhs of rupees. He said, whatever you're talking, if you think it's true, you can play it out. I don't know about your allegations. It may be true. He did not deny anything. He said, whatever you're saying is absolutely wrong. Then we asked him a very specific question about Shahabuddin talking to him in jail, about his phone conversations with Shahabuddin. He did not answer anything. He said, aapke paas agar sequence hai to chalao, Bhagwan ki shraddha hai, chalao. He did not say that it was wrong. Finally, he confessed that Shahabuddin is a member of my party. I have every right to interact with him. Then I asked him about what happened with Aditya, and I said, आपने सुबह reporters के साथ बदतमीजी क्यों की? आपको तो हक नहीं था. Then he said, तुम्हारे reporter ने हमसे बदतमीजी की. लेकिन then I said, आपने ही तो बदतमीजी की लालू प्रसाद यादव जी, आपने भी तो बहुत बुरा भला बोला. At that time he lost his cool and threatened to hit us and asked us to move away. He shouts and screams at us as well. His bouncer comes there again and
two sequences.
And still Arnab,
there are two sequences out there. In one particular sequence, Lalu Prasad Yadav is threatening to either slap or box you. I'm trying to get that sequence on air where he actually threatens to slap or box you. Can you tell us what happened there? What happened there? Why did he threaten to slap you or box you?
You know, Arnab, I think he didn't want anyone to question him. He feels that he's someone who can get away with his sense of humor, joking around with reporters. That has been the trend over the years, hasn't it? When I asked him about this morning, I asked him, why did you misbehave with reporters? Why did you abuse him? At that point, he lost his cool. He said, "Aapka koi haisiyat nahi hai humse sawal karne ka. You have no stature to ask us questions." So that is the shocking part. How can a politician talk like that? You ask one uncomfortable question and you get shouted at, you get pushed around, and the politician tells you have no stature to ask questions. So does he really want and does he really expect us to be servile and just humor him, ask those vanilla questions and get away? This is what saddened me, because I
simply want to ask a couple of things here, Parikshit, as I'm watching this today. This is a place where I have also reported from, where for almost 10 years I used to report inside Parliament. But at no point of time could any of us, including you or Parikshit, ever imagine that there can be a lower point than this in politics, that you have a Neta abuse and assault a reporter inside Parliament for asking questions. And if Lalu thinks that threatening and abusing our reporters is going to help him or make us back off, you know, he's talking to the wrong people. I think he's simply drunk on power right now and arrogance, that he thinks that the Parliament is an area which is his playground. And bottom line is, here is a man who's responsible for Jungle Raj in Bihar. He knows that we have got the wind of the financial transactions concerning his kids. In fact, Lalu Prasad Yadav, I have something to share with you. Lalu Prasad, and this is something that I'm announcing on TV right now. Viewers, I want to share this with you as well. 2 days before the launch of Republic TV, Lalu Prasad, I have a phone recording of yours. 2 days before the launch of Republic TV, you got to know we were about to expose you on Shahabuddin. You called us, you called our reporter Prakash, and at that point of time, you tried to find out what expose we were doing. You wanted to get friendly with us. You wanted us to stop airing the expose on Shahabuddin. Lalu Prasad, I have your recording as well. I will play that recording to Lalu Prasad. I will expose you and people like you completely, Lalu Prasad. My question to you, Lalu Prasad, is this, and through the viewers of Republic TV, I am asking this man who has lost his mental balance one question. Lalu Prasad, did you call Republic TV to try and find out and put pressure to stop airing the tapes of your relationship with Mafia Don Shahabuddin? Is it true that that conversation lasted about 4 or 5 minutes? Is it true that in the course of the conversation you tried to find out what we were about to expose you on? Is it true that you tried to coax information out of us on our exposés? Lalu Prasad, tell me, did you call Republic TV? And answer one thing, Lalu Prasad. Your frustration today is that unlike friendly channels, we did not listen to you. Lalu Prasad, is it true that you tried to call me 20 times? Find out my call details and let's find out yours. How many times did you try to call me before the broadcast of Republic TV? Lalu Prasad, I want an investigation into how many times there were phone calls between your house and my phone for the 48 hours preceding the launch of Republic TV. I refuse to take your calls. That's what makes you frustrated. Despite your pressure, we aired the story. That's what makes you frustrated. Despite all of this and all intimidatory tactics, we went and exposed the land deals of your daughter. That's what makes you frustrated. Now, I want an answer to these questions. These are the more elementary questions today, viewers. And viewers, why don't you call Lalu Prasad Yadav and ask him whether he tried to put pressure on us to stop the telecast of his tapes with Shahabuddin. But more than anything else, Aditya, here is a person who proudly proclaims that he is great friends with the Mafia Don and calls the Mafia Don ad nauseum. So we have that confession on tape. And the tragedy in Indian politics is that despite knowing all of this, Nitish Kumar will do absolutely nothing. So I want to run 2 sets of shots on television today. On the one side, I want to run the shots of Lalu Prasad threatening to box our reporter. On the other side, I want to run the shots of Lalu Prasad's bouncers physically assaulting our reporter. We will continue to ask the question. The more elementary question as I run these pictures is to the viewers of Republic TV. Viewers, we are a new channel. We are a young channel. We have been on air for less than 5 weeks. We are broadcasting the truth. We believe that the truth will spare nobody eventually, and certainly not Lalu Prasad Yadav. I appeal to the viewers today. I appeal to your conscience. I appeal to your sensibility. We have taken on the Lutyens Delhi media. I think it is unfortunate and absolutely despicable that while our news editor was being assaulted inside Parliament, not one reporter came out and spoke on his behalf. We know at this point of time there are multiple organizations, even organizations who are accused of doing wrong financial deals, for whom the entire media comes out and speaks. Republic TV is happy to be fighting a solitary battle. Our battle is there with people who are corrupt like Lalu Prasad Yadav. He says, de denge do mukka. This is the language he uses. He says, naach ke gir jaoge. Hum naach ke nahi gir jayenge. Aap ghumte ghumte gir jaoge, Lalu Prasad Yadav. सच्चाई तो आपके सामने है, कितने बार आप दौड़ेंगे? ये सच बताइए आज देश के लोगों को कि आपने 48 घंटे रिपब्लिक टीवी के लॉन्च के पहले कितने बार मुझे फोन किया? सच बताइए लालू प्रसाद यादव, फॉर द 48 आवर्स बिफोर द लॉन्च ऑफ रिपब्लिक टीवी आपने प्रकाश को फोन किया कि नहीं किया? आपने बोला कि नहीं बोला कि पता करो कि रिपब्लिक टीवी क्या स्कैम हमारे बारे में एक्सपोज करने वाली है? आपकी फ्रस्ट्रेशन इस बात पर है कि आपने हमें फोन किया और हमने आपकी बात नहीं सुनी। आपको पता है, एंड ऑन ट्विटर एंड ऑन फेसबुक, I want everyone to ask Lalu Prasad Yadav, did you try to put intimidatory tactics against Republic TV before we launched and exposed the relations with Shahabuddin? This question is to all the viewers. Aditya, what shocks me today is that he was so proudly talking about his links with Shahabuddin. Today, the lowest point of Indian politics is this, that Lalu Prasad thinks that threatening and abusing our crew is answering our questions. How seeped in Jungle Raj can you get, Lalu Prasad Yadav, that you push, you threaten, you abuse, and you allow physical assault on independent journalists? Who is Lalu Prasad Yadav to assault and threaten to slap my reporter inside Parliament? Who is Lalu Prasad Yadav to prance around arrogantly and threaten to hit a reporter who asks a question, that too in the temple of Indian democracy? I want to ask you, Lalu Prasad Yadav, will abusing and physically assaulting Republic TV's reporters change the fact that you have links with the mafia don? Will abusing and physically manhandling Republic TV's crew make the electorate of this country and the electorate of your state forget you for having links with a mafia don? Will abusing Republic TV's reporters and beating reporters take away the shame? शर्म कीजिए लालू प्रसाद यादव कि आप एक माफिया डॉन जेल में बैठ के आपको इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं कि पुलिस कर्मियों को कहां ट्रांसफर करना चाहिए, कहां किसको रखना चाहिए। आप में तो हिम्मत नहीं है एक माफिया डॉन के साथ बातचीत करने के लिए, उनसे इंस्ट्रक्शंस लेते हैं। शर्म कीजिए लालू प्रसाद यादव। और आप उधर कहते हैं कि मुक्का मारेंगे हमारे रिपोर्टर्स पर। ये किस तरह का लैंग्वेज है लालू प्रसाद यादव? विल अब्यूजिंग रिपब्लिक टीवी absolve you and your affiliates from your criminal connections? Will attacking Republic TV change the questionable office of profit allegations against your son? I want to ask you, Lalu Prasad Yadav, tell yourself, all the property which you have, all the property in your son's name, all the property in your wife's name, all the property in your name, all the property in the names of your middlemen, all the people who you have done links with. Tell me, Lalu Prasad Yadav, come out in the open and explain each and every one of your financial transactions. And if you cannot do that, then I put the pictures on air tonight, and I'm asking the people of this country, they should ask Lalu Prasad Yadav whether he tried to call me to stop the telecast of the Shahabuddin tapes. This question goes to everyone. Now, Aditya Raj call, we should pursue the truth even stronger. Our best response to Lalu Prasad Yadav is to expose him completely. I run the pictures once again. I'm going to run both the sequences, viewers. I today, as an editor, it is my proudest moment. And I am extremely proud of having reporters like Aditya Raj Kaul and Parikshit Luthra in the team of Republic TV. And I want the people of this country to watch the way in which these two fantastic reporters persistently ask questions to Lalu Prasad. And Aditya, I want to tell you this, and Parikshit, I want to tell you this. This is the reporting for which we launched this channel. I'll run these two clips today. The problem with Lalu Prasad is that he is no longer used to being asked questions like this. And my message to goons and ruffians like Lalu Prasad, and also to nervous wrecks like Shashi Tharoor, is that you must think again. Think again before you try to push and touch or intimidate a single reporter of mine. We will ask you questions now wherever you go. And you will face my reporters everywhere now, Lalu Prasad Yadav. This is Republic TV. It's not one of those wishy-washy channels anymore. And Aditya and Parikshit, here are your two clips back to back on TV right now. Let the people of this country judge. And the hashtag we're using tonight is this, viewers. Netas, mind your language. I could have used tougher language against them, but I say, Netas, mind your language. It's now between you and us. These are the two clips. The people of this country will decide what is right. As for us, we will not wince. We will push on. We will not back off we will push harder. And as far as Lalu Prasad Yadav is concerned, his financial dealings now will be exposed bit by bit and part by part. Whether it's Lalu, whether it's Karti, or whether it is that nervous wreck Shashi Tharoor, let them continue to be nervous because we are coming after them.